Good evening, everyone. First order of business. There we go. All right. Welcome, everyone, to Director's Cut. My name is Andrew Roblyer. I am a producer and director based in Houston, Texas. This is my first time in Minnesota and my first time at Minnesota Fringe, and I am having a blast. Thank you all so much for being such a welcoming city. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the show tonight and why the show is happening tonight in just a moment. But we have two business items we need to deal with first. So behind me, I have two fantastic actors who have agreed to be here tonight, having no idea what scene they're about to do. And so I want to give them a chance to introduce themselves. So we'll go ahead and start here.
Hi, I'm Rita Tredal. I've been acting for about 20 years now, and I just thought this was such a fun project, and I'm very excited to see what we have in store tonight.
Ooh, thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Mike D. I actually got to do this last night and do Shakespeare at it. If you want to see me do another show, I'm also playing a demon in an exorcism, don't you know? So.
So the next thing that we need to take care of is we need to select the scene that we are going to work on tonight. And for that, I need your help. So I have prepared 3 possible scenes for our actors. But I would like to put that to a vote to decide which scene we are going to do. So I'm going to give you 3 descriptive words about each of these scenes. That's all I'm going to tell you. 3 descriptive words, and then we're going to vote by sound of applause. Sound good?
Yep.
All right, so number 1. Your 3 words are grief, distance, and memory. I should mention that all of these are dramas tonight. Mm-hmm. Number 2. Relapse, loyalty, and collapse. And number 3, attachment, death, and holding. All right, so who would like to see scene number 1? Go ahead and round of applause. Excellent. All right, what about scene number 2? Yeah. And what about scene number 3? Yeah. All right, excellent. This is going to be very sweet to work on because this is a play called Ephemeral by Cassidy Byron. And I'm going to have you read Nathan. You read Isabel. And I forgot to give you pencils earlier, but I have pencils for you right here. So if you all want to take a step back into the dressing room while I chat with the audience, you can read over the script for the very first time. First of all, I want to apologize. I am not feeling the best today, so if my energy is a little low, that's why, but I'm going to hang in with you through today's show. So I want to tell you a little bit more about why this show is happening. I fell in love with theater at age 6 when I was cast in a church musical called Journey to the Center of Christmas. Yes, it was a spoof of Star Trek. And I played the only adult character in the entire play, Professor J. Ingle Bell, and I was also the shortest child on stage. And that's when I learned you can be anything in theater. I grew up performing regularly. If it had been too long between performances, I would get this kind of like ache in my soul. But I rediscovered and fell in love with theater in college when I discovered what it meant to be a director. And I moved into directing not because I wanted control over the process, but because I realized that I was really deeply passionate about being able to support every person that was part of creating something beautiful in a production. And when I fall in love with something, my nerdy type A brain loves to learn everything that I can about it, and that's when I quickly realized that there is no real path for directors in the American theater. There's no real training, no map. Most directors learn by doing it and hoping that we don't break something or someone along the way. Because here's the thing. A director sets the emotional tone of a production. In the corporate world, studies show that your manager is one of the top factors in whether you thrive or burn out, and it's no different in theater. The director is the culture setter, the emotional thermostat, the person who decides what matters. But most directors, especially in what I call upstream theater, meaning community and educational theater spaces, are just kind of thrown into the deep end. At a low low estimate, there are 30,000 directors working in those spaces each year with no training, no mentors, and no support. Just vibes. And the weight that is placed on their shoulders is immense. They're told that their vision is what determines whether a show will sink or swim. And on top of that, there's this implicit understanding that they are training the next generation of artists who will move downstream to Broadway and professional theater. Because nobody gets their start downstream. They all start upstream and move downstream. And then we wonder why theater spaces are tense, toxic, and unclear at times. It's not because directors don't care, it's because the system never taught them how. Which is why I built Deconstructing Directing, the name of the company that brings you this show. It is a completely 100% free online resource library for directors. It explores topics that most directors I know have never had a chance to talk to anyone about. Facilitation skills, imposter syndrome, power dynamics, regulating our own emotions, and letting go of fear-based, authority-driven models of directing that have held our field hostage for way too long. It's a resource unlike any other in existence, and I am incredibly proud of it. You can check it out for yourself at the top left QR code on your QR quarry that you should have gotten when you walked in the door. If you didn't get one, you can grab it on your way out. Director's Cut, the show you are here to see, is my attempt to put at least some of that work into a performance. And I know the marketing makes this feel like a cool, edgy experiment, and it is. But it's also more than that. It's a window into something that theater rarely shows, how at least part of directing actually works. And it's a love letter to every director who's ever been told to just figure it out. Woo-hoo. So tonight, I'll be building a scene from scratch with the help of these two fantastic actors right in front of me. No prep, no second chances. You'll see me stumble, chase moments, make hard choices, not because I think I have all the answers, but because I believe that directing deserves to be visible, valued, shared. Because when we support directors, when we give them the tools and space to grow, we create better theater, safer rooms, stronger stories, braver choices, and that makes a better experience for all of us on stage and off. So you ready to see the show?
Yeah!
All right, excellent. Grab our actors. Y'all ready? All right, come on out. All right, so as they come out, we are going to start tonight's process with something that we would normally do around a table, and so we would normally call this a table read. But we are not going to do it around a table, because this is a show, so we're going to be up on our feet for this. The point of a table read is to give the actors and the director, and sometimes designers and other folks that are involved in a process, an opportunity to hear the words out loud for the first time. The point of a table read is not perfection. It's not to try and act it full out necessarily, although the actors have freedom to do as much acting as they wish to and movement as they wish to around the stage. The other benefit to this table read is that it gives us an opportunity to have some conversations afterwards to make sure we're all on the same page about what we're about to do, the story that we're about to tell. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the actors to read the first read-through of Ephemeral.
I watched it die.
What?
It ran right into the fan and killed itself.
Oh my god.
I wonder why it did that.
It probably didn't know what would happen.
Maybe not.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Want me to take it outside for you?
No.
Want me to call Mom?
No.
Don't touch it, Nathan.
But it's soft.
Yes. It's a mouse.
I bet that's the first time anyone's ever touched it.
It probably is.
Do you think it knows?
I don't know, Nathan. Why don't we get rid of it?
Why?
It's a rodent. It could be sick.
It was a rodent before it died too, so what's the difference?
The difference? Well, it can't...
You never wanted to get rid of it when it was alive.
Well, no, we didn't. But it's dead now.
I know.
I'll take it out.
It's not bothering anyone.
Maybe not right now, but you know, as time passes, it will start to smell. It'll look different. You don't want to see it like that.
Why not?
Why not?
There's no shame in changing a little.
It's not about the shame the mouse might feel. It's dead, Nathan. It won't even know.
What would the mouse have wanted?
I don't know if it could comprehend death.
Maybe I'll keep it.
Nathan, no. You can't keep a dead mouse.
But I want to. When I die, don't just get rid of me. I won't like that very much.
Nathan.
I want you to remember that I was alive, that I lived here.
Of course we will. Are you afraid you'll forget? You'll still have the memory.
So it isn't gone.
Well, so long as you remember it. I suppose it isn't.
So it lives in my head now. It's still alive.
Yes. Yes, it's still alive.
Does it know that I loved it?
Of course it knows. It lives in your memory after all.
I hope you like your new life.
And scene. Let's give them a round of applause. All right. So we have some information in the text the audience does not. So let's talk a little bit about our characters, just so we're all on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
So how is Nathan described in the script?
He's like a young kid, I believe, between 6 and 10,
Yep.
if I recall. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what about Isabel?
Isabel's the older sister, and she's 17 to 21.
Okay, all right. So, one of the first things that I like to do when doing table work with actors is talk about why we're telling the story that we're telling. Especially when we're dealing with something serious, right? When we're dealing with material that's heavy. For me, just doing it for the sake of doing it isn't helpful, right? We can always, there's always arguments about art doesn't have to have a purpose or whatever, but I think that when we're working collaboratively together on something, part of the role that I take as a director is to help make sure that we're all on the same page, right? It's part of the role of being a facilitator as a director. So, why tell this story? What about this story is important to you or you? And there's not a wrong answer here. I'm not digging for a particular answer.
I mean, it's kind of one of those things is like every person kind of has to know that like death is a thing. And it's kind of him as a young child kind of losing that innocence, like trying to comprehend like what death is.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and trying to understand it. Trying to understand something that everyone will go through, or
Right.
you'll know someone that dies, and it's, that process of it.
Okay. Yeah, I think that that's really helpful. So I think as we work on this scene, let's really pay attention to Nathan's beats, right? And the progression of understanding that's happening, right? And then I think from Isabel's perspective, what I'm going to invite you to think about and pay attention to is Isabel's kind of observation of that understanding developing, right? And what that means for her. And so this is, speaking of what that means for her, I find it interesting that the playwright has given us a brother and a sister, right? And not just a brother and a sister, but a brother and a sister pretty decently far apart in age, right? If we assume the youngest and the oldest of those age ranges, that's 15 years apart, right? So where's mom? Where's dad in all of this? Are they still around?
I see mom working, and maybe the dad isn't quite in the picture, is
Okay.
kind of what I see.
Okay, yeah, that's great.
And
What
it
about
could
for
be,
you?
I mean, it also just could be one of those moments where it's just like, maybe they're outside, they're in the other room, they're somewhere, and he's just kind of in this moment, like, holy hell, what's happening?
Okay.
And they may just not be there, I guess, right readily available.
Okay, great. And I think it kind of works that you don't really maybe know where they are,
Mhm.
right? Like you're 6, they're out of sight, out of mind, right? you're probably much more aware of where they are or are not. Okay, great. So where are we? Where is this happening, do you think? Are we indoors or outdoors? Let's start there.
I think the script said indoors.
Okay.
I was thinking indoors.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think that because that makes seeing a mouse, right, especially a dead mouse, a bigger deal for you if it's inside the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So one of the things that I'm often thinking about directorially is I'm thinking about the ways in which I can help the actors establish what we call stakes. What's at stake in a scene, right? It's usually something that we want or something that we're trying to get. So we've talked about kind of the stakes of understanding, but there's also smaller stakes that develop, like maybe getting the dead mouse out of the house, right? Like that becomes a goal, that becomes something that's at stake that might matter to Isabel. And maybe less so to Nathan. All right. So what has happened in the moment before this? Where are you coming from? Why are you coming into the room, do you think?
I feel like I'm kind of there either babysitting or I'm there doing laundry or something. So I probably just was downstairs doing some laundry, coming up kind of in between errands,
Great.
and he catches me.
I love that. Okay, so that is going to help with some staging pieces. You grab the other two chairs that are back on that board. We're going to put a couch in the space just to give us some options for staging. If you'll just set those right there next to that, that would be great. Thank you. So as we start to ask these questions, as this kind of space begins to become more specific, what I'm thinking about is if she's coming into this space, right? Like, why is she coming into this space? And what's going to keep her from just running and screaming, right? Like, what is it that causes her to stay here and for the scene to actually progress? So, what about for you? How long have you been staring at this mouse?
Probably a couple minutes.
Yeah,
Which
let's
feels like
make
an
it
eternity.
let's make it a bigger choice. Let's say like a solid 20 minutes.
Okay.
Right? Of like seeing it from afar, getting up close to it, figuring out what it is. Maybe you've moved it, maybe you haven't. To give you something physical, we will do a kind of rehearsal prop that we use as our mouse, just so that you have kind of some grounding there. So let's start with you on the ground. One last thing. So youth, you have to play pretty young in this scene. So when you think about playing a child, right, which we often see in theater, adults playing children, because theater in some ways is very different from film, right? Like kids in theater, it's a lot harder because you have to be live so many times a week, right? That kind of thing. So often we'll see older people playing younger. So when you think about like a young kid, what do you think about in terms of how they move through the world, how they talk, how they move?
I mean, it's probably a higher pitched voice, kind of a little, the voice isn't, like the pattern isn't as elegant, it's kind of, they're very simple words.
Yeah.
And there's conflicts of emotion because they are not at a stage where they can comprehend the emotions.
Yeah, I think that that's a really helpful kind of rundown. What I'm going to invite you to do is don't worry so much about the pitch of your voice. You don't want to move into like a fake falsetto sounding voice. But do think about, like you said, the simplicity of the cadence, right? As we get older, we kind of develop a lot of times a more kind of nuanced and movement in our kind of moving up and down with our language, right? But when we're younger, that tends to be a little more, not flat, but a little narrower of a band. So be thinking about kind of that narrowness. This is another thing that I think we forget that directors do a lot of times, is that part of my job is to like consume a lot of media so that when we're working with actors to develop these types of characters, I can give suggestions and help with that process. All right, so let's go ahead and have you start on the ground. We're going to start here with the top of this scene, and we're just going to go through the first page. You're ready.
I watched it die.
What?
ran right into the fan and killed itself.
Oh my god.
Cool.
wonder
Let's
why-
pause. Let's pause right there for just a second. Let's decide which room are you coming from.
I was thinking downstairs, like
Great.
basement.
And where are you going to?
Probably to bring clothes upstairs, maybe. to
Great.
the bedroom.
Cool. So here's what I want to offer. If he does not say that line before you leave the room,
Okay.
and then come back.
Okay.
Right? Like
Sure.
drop the laundry and then come
Sure.
back. And let's see. You take your time on this, Mike.
Mhm.
Right? I'm curious what it looks like if you move so that you're facing this audience.
Sure.
So that way your back you're kind of between her and the mouse no matter which way she goes.
Okay.
Unless she goes around you this way, which don't do that. Okay, great.
I won't see it.
Yeah, all right. Excellent. All right, let's try that again.
I watched it die.
What?
It ran right into the fan and killed itself.
Oh my god.
I wonder why it did that.
It probably didn't know what would happen.
Maybe not.
All right, I'm going to pause this again because I want to make sure we're starting this on a strong foot. What are you all feeling about this moment right now? What's your experience of this moment as actors?
I feel like my character would be freaked out by the mouse.
Yep.
I mean, I do not want to be near the mouse.
Yep.
But then I notice he is really having some moment, and then it's like, oh man, okay.
Yep.
Now I got to do something consoling instead of get rid of it.
Yeah. So let's play with that impulse
Sure.
more because I think there's something there.
Sure.
I'm wondering what happens. So first of all, when you come through this room, don't feel like just because you have a task, don't feel like you have to only keep your eyes on that task,
Sure.
right? You're watching him. He's at home with you, right? So like maybe as you walk by, you kind of look down at him. You doing okay?
Yeah.
Then you walk past, right?
Sure.
Take a minute. You come back in. You're coming back in, maybe now to like. It's weird. He's sitting there. He's not watching TV.
Right.
He's not playing with games. He's not like he's just sitting there staring at something on the ground, right? Maybe it took a second for it to register.
Right.
So now when you come back in, it's kind of like, hey,
Yeah,
what's
what's going on?
like. So as you come over to him, right, let it be with more intention
Sure.
this time. Let's see
Yeah.
how that helps.
Yeah.
Then I wonder what happens if that line happens almost as soon as she comes back in the room.
Okay.
Right? And it's like, why are you telling her that? What do you want from her with that line, do you think?
He's trying to probably get answers to whatever the hell he's thinking of that moment, which is like
Okay.
a combination of like fascination and sadness and.
Cool. Be more specific for yourself.
Okay.
Because that's going to be hard to play, is just getting answers, right? Answer to what?
To life and death, basically.
Get even more specific.
Okay.
What about life and death?
Like why things die.
Great.
Why did this have to happen?
Okay, great. So that's the question, right? So the fact that you're saying, I watched it die, right? Have you ever watched anything die before?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't mean you. I mean the character.
Oh, the character.
Sorry.
No.
we're not mining trauma tonight. I apologize. No. The character. Has
Oh,
Nathan
no.
ever seen anything
No.
die before? Right.
No.
So I think that's a helpful choice.
No.
So when you say that, right, think about it being a question that's not a question. Right? Let's see what that does.
Okay.
Can we go from the top?
I watched it die.
What?
It just ran right into the fan and killed itself.
Oh my god.
Cool. How did that feel to both of you?
That felt good to me.
Yeah. So now let's deal with the freak out moment. That
Okay.
it still is kind of awkward, right? So why? So let's say the impulse is to freak out, right? Let's play that.
Okay.
Let's see what
Okay.
happens. We'll see how
Okay.
Nathan reacts, right? So Mike just like whatever comes out naturally with big sister freaking out about the mouse. Like we have the text that's here, so we're not adding words necessarily,
Right.
but let's see what the reaction is.
Sure.
Because I have a guess about what's going to happen. We'll see if I'm right.
Okay.
All right, so let's go from your entrance
Sure.
back.
I watched it die.
What? Oh. Oh.
It ran right into the fan and killed itself.
Oh my God. Oh. Oh no.
I wonder why it did that.
It probably didn't know what would happen.
Maybe not.
Cool, let's pause right there. How did that feel?
That felt good.
Yeah, I think we're getting there,
Mhm.
right? So there's a question that I asked earlier that I think I had a thought in my head about, and I didn't want to like prime your answers, but I'm going to offer a suggestion.
Sure.
What if parents recently died?
Mm-hmm.
What if this conversation isn't just about a mouse?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And how does that change your willingness to like swallow the freak out
Yep. Yep.
and sit with him?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Are you all game to try that?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Let's try that, because I think right now what we're missing is like why you don't just pick up the mouse
Right.
and throw it away.
Exactly.
Right? Why you don't just like be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
get out of here, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
I think maybe there's something bigger
Uh-huh.
here.
Uh-huh.
And let's just see what that looks like. So can you try it from your entrance again?
Yeah.
And we'll keep going past the end of this page now.
Okay.
I watched it die.
What? Oh.
It ran right into the fan and killed itself.
Oh my God.
I wonder why it did that.
It probably didn't know what would happen.
Maybe not.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Want me to take it outside for you?
No.
Want me to call Mom?
Mom's still in the picture.
Mom's still in the picture, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
But I think maybe like recent death of friend, of
Right.
pet, of right,
Yeah.
like
Right. It's like, oh
there's
no.
there's still a weight there. I
Yeah.
think that's helpful. Okay, cool. Let's pause right here. How did you feel about getting that close to the mouse?
Not very good.
You've got the couch right there.
Okay.
What happens if you sit on the couch?
Sure. Yeah.
And then, just for the sake of our audience, that gives you the ability to turn when you're talking to her to counter this way so that they get profile from you and not you're back to this side the whole time.
Right.
So let's try that one more time from your entrance.
I watched it die.
What?
It ran right into the fan and killed itself.
Oh my God. Oh.
I wonder why it did that.
Probably didn't know what would happen.
Maybe not.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Want me to take it outside for you?
No.
Want me to call Mom?
No.
Don't touch it, Nathan.
It's soft.
No, yes, it's a mouse.
I bet that's the first time anybody's tried to touch it.
Cool. Let's pause right there for me. Cool. So two things that I noticed. The surprise this time felt a little forced. I don't know if
Okay.
you felt that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that what will help you is one, let's pull the mouse closer toward you when you're facing that way, so that she truly can't see the paper.
Okay.
Like she meaning you cannot see the paper, right?
Right.
Not Isabel. So I think that'll help, right? So that you truly can't see it, and that way when you do see it, you have that reaction.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Second thing is I'm thinking about, so a lot of times directorially, one of the things that I pay attention to when working with actors is what we call impulses. So impulses are often movements that I see in shoulders, hands, or feet are the most common places that I see them. And so one example of this, right, was your like impulse to go grab him and stop it. Go for it.
Okay.
Right? Like there's
Yep.
nothing that says you can't, like, is it okay if she puts her hand on
Yeah,
your
totally.
So like go, like don't feel like you have to pull it back just because you said you were sitting on the couch.
Sure.
Right? Like,
Yep.
get up and then when he like, you know, pulls back or whatever, then you can step back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Let's do that one more time from your entrance through this page. Yeah, pull it all the way, like right, yeah, almost in your lap. Yeah, there you go.
I watched it die.
What?
It ran right into the fan and killed itself.
Oh my god.
I wonder why it did that.
Probably didn't know what would happen.
Keep that tension in your body, Rita. Don't let the tension drop so quickly.
Okay.
You're still on it.
Okay.
Keep going.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Want me to take it outside for you?
No.
Want me to call Mom?
No.
Don't touch it, Nathan!
It's soft.
Yes. It's a mouse.
I bet that's the first time anyone has ever tried to touch it.
Probably is.
Do you think it knows?
Cool. Let's tweak that timing of the grab here,
Sure.
just so that it feels really natural.
Mhm.
Don't feel like you need to act or slow the reach,
Okay.
right? So just reach for it, right? That's probably going to mean that you're going to get there after he's touched it,
Okay.
which is what we need anyway.
Okay.
So don't stress about like trying to make that
Sure.
anything other than just be natural about it.
Okay.
Sure.
There's one other line that I had a question about, Rita. Want me to take it outside for you? You seem awfully okay with the idea of picking up this mouse with your hands.
True. Yeah.
So I wonder what happens if that's one of those offers that's like,
I don't wanna do it.
Yeah. I wonder what that
Yeah.
that feels like.
Yeah.
So can we just go from "Are you okay?" after you sit down there?
Sure.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Want me to take it outside for you?
No.
Want me to call Mom?
No.
Don't touch it, Nathan! Oh!
But it's soft.
Yes, it's a mouse.
I bet that's the first time anyone's ever touched it.
Done.
Probably is.
Do you think it knows?
No, Nathan.
Watch your volume.
Why don't we get rid of it?
Why?
It's a rodent. It could be sick.
It was a rodent before it died, too, so what's the difference?
The difference? It's, well, it can't,
You never wanted to get rid of it when it was alive.
well, no, we didn't. But it's
pause right there. That's a really lovely impulse to like move closer to him, to kind of skirt the mouse and like get on his side of the room. I think that's really lovely. I want to give you permission to like keep some of that tension of the anxiety about the mouse just in your body a little longer.
Okay.
Because I mean, you're still dealing with a dead mouse, right?
Right.
So as like that, that I don't know, Nathan, you had that beautiful long pause, right? I wonder how much of that is you just staring at the mouse and being like, oh my God, this is awful, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, you want to get rid of it. You don't want to just say like, I'm getting rid of it. You want him on your side with it, right? You want him to be okay with getting rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Let's just do that from, let's go from the don't touch, the touch, the don't touch anything. See how that feels.
Don't touch it, Nathan! Oh,
It's soft.
yes. It's a mouse.
I bet that's the first time anyone's ever touched it.
It probably is.
Do you think it knows?
I don't know, Nathan. Why don't we get rid of it?
Why?
It's a rodent. It could be sick.
It was a rodent before it died too, so what's the difference?
The difference? Well, it's, it can't.
You never wanted to get rid of it when it was alive.
Well, no, we didn't. But it's dead now, Nathan.
I know.
I'll take it out.
It's not bothering anyone.
Maybe not right now. But as time passes, it will start to smell. It'll look different. You don't want to see it like that.
Why not?
Why not?
There's no shame in changing a little.
It's not about the shame the mice might feel. It's dead, Nathan. It won't even know.
Cool. Pause right there for a second. I'll let you go for a while because you really lovely work. There's no shame in changing a little. That feels to me like something he's been told. Maybe by sister, maybe by mom, right? Or that he's heard somewhere. I mean, maybe not. 6-year-olds can be very wise.
Just from a cartoon, I'm sure.
But I wonder how that changes the line if you are quoting it. And then that gives you some insight into the shame, right? You're realizing like, okay, yep, not the same thing. We're talking about two different things. So let's go back. Let's try just from the top of that page. It's not bothering anyone, please.
It's not bothering anyone.
Maybe not right now, but as time passes, it will start to smell. It'll look different. You don't want to see it like that.
Why not?
Why not?
There's no shame in changing a little.
It's not about the shame that the mouse might feel. It's dead, Nathan. It won't even know.
What would the mouse have wanted?
I don't know if it could comprehend death.
Maybe I'll keep it.
Nathan, no.
Nice. Yes.
You can't keep a dead mouse.
I want to. When I die, don't just get rid of me like that. I wouldn't like it very much.
Oh, Nathan.
I want you to remember that I was alive, that I lived here.
Of course we will.
Okay, cool. Let's pause there for just a second. I wonder what happens, Mike, if when I die, just don't get rid of me. I won't like that very much. I want you to remember that I was alive. I wonder if that's all one thought.
Okay.
And Isabel interjects the Nathan at the correct time.
Got it.
Sure.
Okay.
Just so that we're not hanging there. One of the things that I think about directorially a lot is I think about not only the visual cadence and movement in poetry, but also the auditory sense of movement, right? And so even just that little bit of air between her saying Nathan and him saying, I want you to remember that I was alive, can make it feel like lines being said, right? And so I find a lot of times by kind of joining two lines and then having a character insert, that helps get rid of that. So let's give that a try. Can we go from just from when I die? Don't, yeah, those lines.
When I die, don't just get rid of me. I won't like that very much.
Nathan.
I want you to remember that I was alive, that I lived here.
Of course we will. Are you afraid you'll forget? You'll still have the memory.
So, it isn't gone.
Well, so long as you remember it, I suppose it isn't.
So it lives in my head now. It's alive.
Yes, yes, it is still alive.
Does it know that I loved it?
Of course it knows. It lives in your memory, after all.
I hope you like your new life.
Cool. So there's this stage direction at the end that I'm curious to try. It says, Nathan slowly reaches for the mouse again. Isabel tenses, ready to stop him. He did that beautifully. But he gently scoops it up and holds it at eye level.
Okay.
And then you take it with you as you leave the room. And I'm curious what that looks like. So can we just go from the top of page 6, does it know that I loved it?
Does it know that I loved it?
Of course it knows. It lives in your memory, after all.
I hope you like your new life.
Cool. Okay. How did that feel for both of you?
Felt good for me.
Yeah.
Felt for you.
You okay, Mike?
Sort of like, whoo!
Yeah. One of the things that I think, so I was talking with the actors before this, right? Because all these scenes were going to be dramas tonight. And so one of the things I told them was, you know, I'm not a director who likes to mine trauma, right? There are styles of acting and old styles of directing that say, okay, I'm going to try and pull out your worst memories to help you find the emotion, right? And there's so much that we understand now in the research about the way that cognitive embodiment happens, right? Like actors, when they are doing their jobs well, and I'll say we because I'm an actor too, but when we are doing our jobs well, our body cannot tell the difference between pretend emotion and real emotion, right? It's all the same neurotransmitters. It's all the same physiological effects, right? Everything's the same. And so when we're working with heavy emotion, one of the things that we want to be mindful of, I like to call it the stickiness of the emotion that stays with us after we leave, right? So one of the things we're going to do before we leave here today is we will do a de-rolling exercise, which is essentially a way to kind of help the actors shake off the character. Remember that like they are not this person. The emotions that they were feeling belong to the character, right? And they don't have to carry them with them. And in some circles, it can feel kind of silly to do this because people that were raised in an industry where this was just normal and accepted, they're kind of like, well, I just deal with it, and that's how how it happens. But this is one of the reasons why training directors is so crucial, right? Is because if a director doesn't understand what they're really asking for from an actor, if they don't understand the risk that actor is taking on by being emotionally vulnerable in that moment, then harm can be done much more easily and accidentally, all right? So I want to just check in with you and make sure, are you good to continue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. If you need a break at any point, you just let me know. The other thing that I want to give both of you is permission to not have to cry at any point. This is a little bit of a pet peeve that I have with some playwrights. Saying that someone is crying, especially when you're thinking about like 8 shows a week on Broadway or even just 4 shows a week in a community theater, over a weekend, that's going to be really hard for even the best actors to do, to conjure up tears perfectly every single time. And so what we get instead a lot of times is we get what we call indicating, which is where an actor will like cover their face or do things to show that they are crying, but they can't actually get the tears to come out. What I'm going to suggest for y'all is that it is generally far more interesting as an audience to watch someone struggle with emotion than to watch someone indicate emotion. So if you start, and I noticed it a couple times, Rita, where the tension that we were talking about, you hear it in your breath. And so holding on to that breath work, holding on to that, like those kind of like sharp inhales, right? And even using your breath as a way to like, when he leaves, as you give that final exhale, kind of letting it shake, right? Giving it that sense, it'll start to cause that to pull up at you without you having to try anything. Cool? All right. Can we run, I just want to run the very end of this one more time, and then we'll run it from the top. So can we go from the top of page 5, please? When I die, don't just get rid of me.
When I die, don't just get rid of me. I wouldn't like that very much.
Nathan.
I want you to remember that I was alive, that I lived here.
Of course we will. Are you afraid you'll forget? You'll still have the memory.
So it isn't gone.
Well, so long as you remember it, I suppose it isn't.
So it lives in my head now. It's still alive.
Yes. Yes. It is still alive.
Does it know that I loved it?
Of course it knows. It lives in your memory, after all.
I hope you like your new life.
Cool. 2 thoughts, and then we'll run this from the top. I wonder what happens if you don't. You're such a smart actor, Mike. I love that. But I wonder what happens if he's not worried about standing there to say that line.
Okay.
What if that line is said as he's walking out the door?
Yeah.
Right? Get up. Like, you've made a decision about where you're taking this mouse, right? So don't let the line stop you. Let the line be incidental, right? It doesn't even need to be, it's not to her, right? So you don't have to wait there for her. So just, I think when we run it, just let yourself leave and say the line as you go. There's a line on the prior page. I want to get your thoughts on, Rita. Are you afraid you'll forget? I've heard you kind of try a couple of different emphases on the line. I want to offer another one that isn't maybe as apparent in the text. What if there was kind of like an ellipsis at the end of that? You can't bring yourself to say the mouse, right? But what if the insinuation is like, are you afraid you'll forget him or it? Right? As opposed to just this broad, will you forget?
Right.
So I think that will help that land more effectively for you.
Already I can feel the difference.
All right, excellent. Ready to try again from the top?
Do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, we present for the final time this evening, Ephemeral by Cassidy Byron.
I watched it die.
What?
It ran it in the fan and killed itself.
Oh my god.
I wonder why it did that.
It probably didn't know what would happen.
Maybe not.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Want me to take it out for you?
No.
Want me to call Mom?
No.
Don't touch it, Nathan.
It's soft.
Yes, it's a mouse.
I bet that's the first time anyone's ever touched it.
It probably is.
Do you think it knows?
I don't know, Nathan. Why don't we get rid of it?
Why?
It's a rodent. It could be sick.
It was a rodent before it died, too. So what's the difference?
The difference? Well, it can't.
You never wanted to get rid of it when it was alive.
Well, no, we didn't. But it's dead now, Nathan.
Yeah, I know.
I'll take it out.
It's not bothering anyone.
Maybe not right now. But you know, as time passes, it'll start to smell. It'll look different. You don't want to see it like that.
Why not?
Why not?
There's no shame in changing a little.
It's not about the shame the mouse might feel. It's dead, Nathan. It won't even know.
What would the mouse have wanted?
Trying.
I don't know if it could comprehend death.
Maybe I'll keep it.
Nathan, no. You can't keep a dead mouse.
But I want to. When I die, don't just get rid of me. I wouldn't like that very much.
Nathan.
I want you to remember that I was alive, that I lived here.
Of course we will. Are you afraid you'll forget? You'll still have the memory.
So it isn't gone.
Well, so long as you remember it, I suppose it isn't.
So it lives in my head now. It's still alive.
Yes. Yes. It's still alive.
Does it know that I loved it?
course it knows. It lives in your memory, after all.
I hope you like your new life.
Scene. Come on out and take a bow. Excellent work. Take a bow. Hello there. Thank you so much for watching Director's Cut. I hope you enjoyed it. And if this glimpse into the directing process sparked something for you, whether you're a theater maker, educator, or just someone who loves live performance, there is so much more where this came from, because this isn't just a show, it's part of a much bigger movement that is rethinking what it means to direct theater and how we train, support, and value directors, especially in schools and community theaters, but throughout the industry. You can explore a growing library of free resources at deconstructingdirecting.com, designed especially for directors in those upstream spaces like schools and community theaters, both for themselves and to use as part of their directing curriculum. 100% free. And if you're part of a theater, school, or university that wants to rethink how you train directors, I also offer consulting, custom workshops, and can bring Director's Cut to you, performed with your actors for your audiences. We can package that with workshops on directing, acting, or producing, whatever fits your needs. And if you believe in this kind of work and want to help keep it going, consider supporting Deconstructing Directing on Patreon. Even a few bucks a month makes a real difference. Links to everything I just mentioned are below in the description. Thank you again for being here. I want to transform our field for the better, but I can't do it alone. So until we see each other again, I challenge us all to be recklessly kind.